Cobra! Welcome back to Bullet Catcher Gaming. This is Jeff, screen name Corporal Spectre, and we're here with another episode of Tactical Fashion to complement the most recent one with the G.I. Joes. As you can tell from the intro, we're going to do some Cobras on this go around. And so let's take a look at what we got here. As you can see, we're on Golem Island, or as I like to call it, Cobra Island. And we'll take a look here at the characters I've put together. So, starting left to right, we'll go with Fury. I have her dressed up as Baroness, obviously. So I kept her with the basic Fury face and hairdo as well. I think just that ponytail with the little strand hanging down in the eyes. And then her vests, since she was more of a intelligence operative and strategic kind of level stuff, she doesn't need a lot of body armor or anything of that nature, and a lot of her undercover work and disguises. So I just gave her the light carrier harness here, and for her hands, I just gave her the durable leather gloves, colored black. And pants, the Forest Tactical is what I did here, because it's kind of like the most form-fitting of all the pants here. So yeah, I went with the blue. This is like the classic Baroness from when she first appeared in the comics and the cartoon series. She kind of had this like blue jumpsuit, single piece thing. It looked like, which was very form-fitting and whatnot. Then the shoes, I gave her the Ranger boots just because in her original costume were kind of like these thigh-high black boots or whatever, but obviously they don't make those here. And I figured these Ranger boots, black color, would be what could give her like the best high shine, which would, she would want something where she could have like a high shine on them, since she was from aristocratic roots and wants to always present a neat and tidy appearance. Of course, glasses, like I said, her original look, she had these green tinted ones, so the high protection shades were a brilliant fit. Also big black frames like she wore, so I think once I earn the aviators, maybe I'll come back and do that all black outfit she had, because then these would probably fit a little bit better with that. Top, again, went with the spandex shirt because that's the close form-fitting one, and again just the blue color for that. And then not exactly a face mask, but I gave her the schmeg, which if you look at some of the first miniseries in the Joe cartoon, she had kind of like this yellow part of her top that went all the way up to her neck. So just kind of emulated that with the schmeg, and I think I did tan color on that, since there's no yellow in here. So that about does it for the Baroness. Oh, her weapon, I gave her the bullpup PDR because I figured she wouldn't carry anything too big around. Like I said, she was more strategic level and intelligence kind of stuff. But when push comes to shove, she seems like the kind of person that would want to put a lot of lead down range at a high rate of fire. So that bullpup PDR seemed like the best fit for her. Next, we'll go to Fix It. Did fix it up as the Baroness's love, the Destro. So here I went with we'll start over here on this. Obviously did the face mask with the airsoft skull mask, very similar to the McCullen family mask that they were cursed / forced to wear. I don't, kind of a weird thing with that, but like, the first one of his ancestors was punished to wear it, and then they decided to wear it for the rest of their life, like for generations. Whatever, kind of a weird thing. So I did a white color on this because there's, or I'm sorry, gray solid, because there's no silver uh, or anything kind of shiny and reflective within the palette here. Then the top, I gave him the black leather jacket. Uh, has kind of, the zippers down a little bit, showing off a little bit of chest, like in his kind of disco top that he initially premiered with. And so to complement that as well, since there's nothing with that big kind of Cobra hood red collar that he had, I did the Eagle Industries chest rig because it has kind of the bulkiest, puffiest shoulder pads on the straps that kind of emulated that as best as possible. Of course, colored red to match, to, to as closely matched as possible to what he had going on. Shoes, I gave him these the punk boots just because seemed to fit with that disco-y theme. And again, Destro was more of a uh, strategic guy himself, and actually, like, he wasn't even really part of Cobra. He was just a defense contractor kind of guy that sold arms to the highest bidder, So um, doesn't really need anything comfortable and for long walks or ruck marching with. And then pants, I gave him those high-tech infiltrator pants, colored black, just because again it's kind of that shiny, sort of form-fitting look that he had going on with the different portrayals of him in the media, in the multiple forms of media. Um, Hands, just gave him black leather gloves as well. Nothing fancy there. And I think that about covers it for him. And finally, we'll go to Vasily. Vasily, I did his scrap iron. Uh, Scrap iron was more of a I don't know what you would say he was. He seemed like a suck ass to me in the cartoons. Like he was always just kind of willing to stab anybody in the back to get on Cobra Commander's good side. Just kind of seemed like a scummulous kind of guy, just in it for you know shits and gigs. So for him, I gave him the Sentinel breacher helmet, and I colored that gray solid as well. And also to complement that, I gave him a headset to complete that full helmet look that he had going on. It was the Ops Core AMP headset, colored gray as well. And of course, I just gave him the basic Army Sandwind dust goggles that they used to issue us back in the day that don't really fit anybody's face, but kind of gave him that. He had big goggles back in the day, so seems fitting. His top, I just gave him, what was it, the Indiana Jones shirt? Yeah, because his top wasn't anything spectacular to write home about. Then for his vest, I gave him I believe there's a cross draw vest, colored red, very close to what he wore, and whichever interpretation you look at, whether it was comics, cartoon, or action figure. And gloves, I gave him the hatch operator gloves. And pants, since he was a little more of a kind of guy that seemed like he would get out and fight, I gave him actual full-on knee pads so that when he's out doing IMT and tactical maneuvers, he would have good protection on his knees. And shoes, I gave him the Ranger boots also, colored those red again to match kind of the interpretations of him in comics and cartoons. What else for him? That about covers it for him. For him, he was like I said, he was an anti-armor and sabotage demolitions kind of specialist. Obviously, can't really equip your partners here with anything like that. So closest I something that's like definitely armor piercing is the M82 sniper rifle. So gave him that because that's got some big bang for the buck. Oh, and let me go back to Destro. For him, I gave him the SMG Vector just because, like I said, he wouldn't need anything big because he wasn't usually involved in combat. He was just more of a arms dealer, but of course he would want something to protect himself, but something to easily, carry, you know, easy to carry and maneuverable. So anything he would be involved in would definitely be close quarters. So he would have the a submachine gun or a Vector. Last but not least is Major Blood. He's to me he's one of the most despicable characters because he's just a merc for a hire, works for anybody. Uh, doesn't even have loyalty to Cobra for that matter, and yeah, just kind of almost seems like he's into it just because he likes killing and warfare. Um, so of course for him, most recognizable by his dirty stash. Best one that kind of mimicked what he has going on in the other forms of media was this one with the little soul patch down below, but that gets covered up luckily by the straps on the helmet. And then also gave him a scar down the side of his face because he wears an eye patch, and generally, I imagine something happened there that would have affected the rest of his face. Helmet, this kind of the rebel helmet, best sort of uh, emulated what he had going on in the comics and the cartoon. Just a basic gray color with that. Same with the vest. I gave him Hill's vest, and again with the gray color, because he's more of like a field commander, but not like you know at like a higher level as a major. He's not really gonna have to get down and dirty, so he just needs something light to carry, like light armor. Nothing, nothing too crazy. Plus, he's got a little radio there to do his C2 from. Uh, Hands, I just gave him the basic leather gloves. Nothing particular there. Shoes, I gave him the punk boots as well, just because there's something about him that seems kind of flashy. I would almost I'd almost put him at like kind of a Cav Scout kind of douche level, and so this kind of has the best, and kind of closest imitation to the spurs that the Cav Scouts wear. I don't know why, he just strikes me as being a Cav Scout knob. And let's see, obviously glasses, eye patch, his other recognizable trademark. And the top, I gave him this armored large rainstorm coat, just because it had this weird thing here, as you can see on his arm, which I don't. The figure and in the cartoon, he had this weird square thing on his right forearm that really seemed to serve no purpose, much like whatever this weird thing strapped to the arm is on this jacket. So, just kind of again useless accoutrement, if you will. So that about covers Blood. His weapons that I gave him were the what was it? Yeah, the Aug Scout, because his profile says that he's well versed in all assault rifles, and I think it was like sniper rifles or something. So this is kind of in between, designated marksman rifle. So, and then also gave him that P90 because that sort of seemed like a something else he would carry around for kind of any sort of closer in combat that he would do. And yeah, so that about covers it. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Check us out on Discord, and leave any comments below what you guys think of these uniforms. Any other costume ideas you guys would like to see. Anything you think I could have done better. I'm open to criticism. So From all of us here at Bullet Catcher Gaming, hope you guys had or are having happy holidays, and we will see you soon.